Cinematography, and today I am filming a very interesting and exciting book tag. It's the Bookish Academy Award tag. This tag was created by Kayla at Bookadoodles, and I will leave a link to the original video down below, so you can go watch it later. Basically what you do is you take certain categories from the Academy Awards and you turn them sort of into bookish categories that would win prizes if there were Oscars for books. I'm really excited about this book tag. I've wanted to do it ever since I saw it, and now finally I have the time. But since it's the first time that I'm doing this tag, I'm going to use books from 2015 and 2014. The first category is for Best Actor, which is, let me say, congrats Leo, which would translate into the Best Male Protagonist. And for this, I chose Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I really like Bilbo. He's not your typical male character. He's very comfortable in his home, surrounded by his stuff. He's not really interested in going out, which sounds a lot like somebody I know. Bilbo is presented with this adventure that he wants at first no part of. He's a bit interested because he has, took blood, which means he does like adventure secretly, but he's sort of forced to go on this adventure, and well, he grows a lot. We see him growing a lot throughout the book. At first he just wants his home, he wants comfort, but then he toughens up. A good adventure always builds character, and well, I thought Bilbo was a great character. He's not very strong, he doesn't have many skills, only his wits. At the end, he is left with this just incredible friendships that he's made, memories, experiences, and he grows a lot. So I really like Bilbo Baggins. The second category is for Best Actress, which would translate into the Best Female Protagonist. For this category, I chose Mare from The Red Queen. Mare is a red, which means she has normal red blood, which means she's a normal human, and she is thrust into the world of the Silver Bloods, which means that they have powers, superpowers, so they're like the elite, and they treat reds like scum, basically. But she is thrust into their world. She's considered a lost princess because they discovered that she has powers. I really liked it that Mare was in control most of the time. She knew what she had to do. She didn't give up. She was a fighter throughout the whole book, and I really enjoyed that. So I think she deserves the Best Female Protagonist award. The next category is for Best Cinematography, which would be the Best Plot Twist. For this category, I chose Sycamore by John Grisham. Grisham? Not sure. The story begins with the suicide of Seth Hubbard, who is a very wealthy man, a known man in this county that they live in, and everyone is incredibly surprised to learn that he left everything to his black maid. This brought a lot of suspicions, like the maid was using him, she seduced him to get his property. So our main protagonist, Jake, is tasked with finding out why this happened, why this maid was left with everything. And I thought that the ending was just incredible. It blew me away. It's a bit long, but this book made me realize just how much I love reading about trials and about the law, and it was just incredible. I thought the end was worthy of winning the Best Plot Twist. The next category is for Best Costume Design, which would be the best cover. For this category, I chose La Bibliotecaria de Auschwitz, which would be The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio G. Iturbe. This is a story about a girl who is stuck in Auschwitz during the Second World War. She's Jewish, and she's part of like an experimental section. In this section, they somehow managed to smuggle in a few books. I think there were like 5 books, and she is tasked with hiding them, with protecting them. I chose this cover because I just think it is deep. It's very, you have color, a nice green color, but then you see she's barefoot, her feet are kind of damaged. You have a very old book. Here you can see the Star of David. I thought it was very tragic and at the same time beautiful. Also the font of the title is very telling. So I thought it deserved you know, Best Cover award. Next category is Best Supporting Actor or Actress. For this we will go with like the best secondary male character and female character. For the male character, I chose Minho from The Maze Runner. I think Minho is probably my favorite character in the whole series. He is incredibly badass, he is sarcastic, he has a reply for everything. He has, okay, he doesn't have a cool head, but he does know exactly what needs to be done. He's not scared to do it. He is a bit of a hothead, but he just gets things done. And did I mention he's a badass? For the secondary female character, I chose Luxa from GREGOR, the Overlander series. Luxa is a princess in this underground city that the main character GREGOR was, you know, like kind of dropped into accidentally. Well, she's a princess, but at the same time she's a warrior and a strategist. She's a great princess, she cares a lot about her people, she's a team player, she is always first in a fight, and kind of like Minho, she kicks ass. For the next category, Best Original Screenplay would be the Best Fictional World, and hands down I had to choose Middle-earth from the Silmarillion, or well, from all of Tolkien's works, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. It is an incredible world, I love it. Even if you don't like fantasy or this kind of writing, the level of, once again, of detail that this man put into his world, maps, languages, customs, traditions, whole religions, is just, you know, out of this world. So without a doubt, Middle-earth by J.R.R. Tolkien is the best world there is. The next category, Best Adapted Screenplay, would be the best book turned movie. I would have to go with The Martian by Andy Weir. Basically, you have Mark Watney, who's an astronaut in Mars, and he was left behind by his friends, by his crewmates, because they thought he was dead, so he has to survive a long time with the few provisions he has. The best thing about this book was how sarcastic it was. I thought the adaptation was really good, especially since, you know, the book is him talking to himself. Great job in transmitting what he was feeling, in not making it boring. The humor also helped. He's really sarcastic, and that's one of the things I loved about him. Next we have the best animated feature, and this would be what book would work well as an animation. There were a lot of books I would have chosen for this, but since I'm trying not to repeat books, I'm going to go with the Enchanted Forest Chronicles. We have 4 books dealing with dragons, Searching for Dragons, Calling on Dragons, and Talking to Dragons. This is a series about a princess that does not want to be a princess. She wants to do her own things, be independent, learn whatever she wants, and she goes to this enchanted forest. You have dragons, talking trees, you know, the whole works. Because of those elements, I think it would work great as an animated series or movie, especially since most characters aren't really human, and also because the covers, right, you have like sort of animated and they look great. So, you know, I think it would make a great animated series or a movie. Next you have the best director, which would be the best author that you read for the first time, and I chose Ruta Sepetys from Between Shades of Grey. This is a book that takes place in the Second World War. We see how the life of Lithuanian prisoners were. They were taken by the Soviet Union and considered criminals for what, and they get sent to prison camps all over Siberia or the north of Europe, which is really cold. We see their lives and it's tragic, and I think her writing style is incredible. I think the reason behind these stories is just amazing and heartbreaking. Next we have the best visual effects, which would be the best action in a book, and for this I chose Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. This book is about Louis Saperini's life from his childhood to when he went to the Second World War. He was a pilot and he gets captured by the Japanese. He is sent to a Japanese prison camp. I chose this book because there is a lot of detail on how they flew the planes, the maneuvers they did, how certain battles that they had, and I thought the action well, it's based on real life, so that makes the action well explained. It's also a great book of survival, of not giving up, and of, you know, triumph. It's a very, very good book. Next category is the best musical score, which would be the best music from a book turned movie. And for this, without a doubt, I have to go with The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit score by Howard Shore, which for me is the best. I have it on repeat on my iPod, on my computer, everywhere. I listen to it while I read, while I work, while I study. It's just an incredible soundtrack. It's full of emotion and I don't know, it's incredible. Without a doubt, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, book to movie adaptation musical scored by Howard Shore. It is the best! Next we have the award for a short film, which would be a short novella or a short story. For this I went with The Giver by Lowry. It's a very short book, you can read it in a day. Basically you have our main character, Jonas, who is living in this dystopian town. Everything is perfect, nobody gets sick. He receives the job of being the giver, which means he takes the memories from the past giver, he keeps them, and by keeping them, it's like he also maintains people from committing the same mistakes from the past, but he realizes that a lot of things were lost because of that. You know, this is a very controlled society, and it's just a very deep book, and it just tells you to appreciate what we have and to not, you know, lose them in order to become perfect. Then we have the category for Best Picture, which will be the best book that I read, I'm gonna put last year. And I have to repeat a book for this, I'm sorry, and I'm going to go with The Martian by Andy Weir. I thought the movie was just incredible, the visual effects was great, the music, I thought Matt Damon did an incredible job playing Mark Watney, the sarcasm was on point, it was funny, it was heartbreaking, and you were rooting for him through the whole movie. So I really loved this book and I loved the movie, which is not something I say a lot, so yay. And the last category that we have for this book tab is the best documentary, which would be the best historical fiction or non-fiction book. For this I chose Led by Faith, Rising from the Ashes of the Rwandan Genocide by Immaculee Ilibagiza. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. This is her story of being in the middle of the Rwandan Genocide, which was between the Hutus and the Tutsis. The Hutus were a majority tribe and they just wanted to eradicate the Tutsis, which they saw as flawed people. Hundreds died, thousands died. She lost most of her family in this genocide. She talks about how she survived, where she hid. You know, she had to hide with other girls in a bathroom, in a really tiny bathroom, and she was witness to the worst atrocities of humanity. This is a very difficult book to read because of the things she talks about. This is the second book. In the first book, she talks about everything that happened historically, and in the second book, she recapitulates about a few things, but also talks about how her faith helped her to get through all these days she was hiding and thinking she was going to die at any second. This is for me the best non-fiction book, precisely because it touches subjects that few people want to talk about. You know, this is a part of history that a lot of people know, but nobody wants to admit happened because it's just too horrendous. And during this time, she talks about how the other countries, first world countries, didn't really do much to help, which is something that is repeating itself today. So that was the Bookish Academy Awards tag. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what was the best book you read last year. I try to post a video every week. Please like and share, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!